Hey everybody, it's MrFloridaFlipper here, back with another episode of my flipping reselling journey. So today, brought you back out into the garage where I keep all my items, and we're gonna go over a couple of things. So I have a list of some of the things I've sold since the last video, so it's about a week's worth of sales. I had a really good week this past few days. I think it was Monday, I sold 8 items in one day, which is a new record for me. And then I've been selling consistently 3 items or more per day. That's my goal for this past few months, is to sell at least 3 items per day. And I have been successful at that. So it's been really good selling on eBay for me. Definitely haven't noticed a slowdown since I started selling in February. So it's going really well. So I will put that list up here in just a couple of seconds and show you guys some of the things I sold. But I wanted to go over a little bit more about me. So I have been selling on eBay. I think I mentioned it in the first video, but I've been selling since 2012 on eBay. Not very consistently. I would sell things around my house mostly, so a lot of things that I no longer used. It wasn't until this year in February that I decided that I was going to start reselling full time. I wanted to start this as a side hustle, and now I have wanted it to become my job. So one day, hopefully, I am hoping to make this a career. But for now, I'm really happy with my job that I currently have, and I'm fine doing this as a part-time job. I spend on average probably about 12 hours a week on this side hustle. So you can kind of figure out your hourly rate there. So I spend about 2 hours on Saturdays and Sundays, yard sailing, garage sailing, going to Goodwill, Salvation Army, hitting up different estate sales, that type of thing. So about 2 hours, Saturday, Sunday, that's 4 hours. And then I spend about an hour to 2 hours during the weekday packing, shipping, listing. So I would say I think I averaged at about 12 hours a week that I spend reselling. And I have a full-time 40-hour week job. So I am putting in a lot of extra effort to make this my dream. So, or something that I want to do. You have to put a lot of time in. So when you're starting your eBay reselling, if you're actually wanting to do this as a side hustle or a part-time job to make some extra cash, you will have to put in some hours of work. This is not passive income by any means. This takes real work, real effort. But if you can put in the time, it does pay off. I make sure I keep track of all my items. So at first I was keeping track of everything that I would sell. So I would keep track, okay, I bought this item for $3, I sold it for $5, so I have $2 profit. But after a while of doing that, when you're selling a good amount of items, more than 1 or 2 a week, it becomes really hard to keep track of that. You have to write it down, or you keep it on a computer, or keep it somewhere. So I switched over to just a bank account. So I opened up a bank account and I got a business credit card. So I use the bank account, all my money that I make from eBay goes into that bank account, and then I just pay off that credit card at the end of the month. So everything I buy, garage sailing, that kind of thing. Well, garage sales, I pay cash for everything. I haven't had a garage sale where I haven't paid with cash. So obviously I just take that out of my bank account and I'll use that for the week. But for everything else, Goodwill, Salvation Army, all those different types of thrift stores, I use my credit card to buy things. So I just set that up this past week, and I'll go over that in another video. But I have really been loving, I've had such great sales this last week. It's really been nice. This last week, I will show it at the end of the video, but I already hit for the month. I had my deposit, every month I have my deposit come from eBay into my bank account. So on the 2nd of April, I had my deposit for the month, and already I'm up to almost $500, which for me is really nice. And that's after eBay fees, after shipping. So not net, but that's after all the shipping costs come out, which I do like that now that eBay switched over to handling all the payments instead of PayPal, that all of your money comes out of one thing. So your shipping, your fees, your taxes, all gets taken out of the same money. So whatever you have left over is your profit minus whatever you spent on your products. So, but I'm over 50% in the green right now. So I would say I'm at least $250 profit for those items that I've sold. It's just been really nice. So it's definitely helping out, but it's really doing really well for me. I have switched it up a little bit. When I first started out, probably like most of you, you go to eBay, you go to Goodwill or Salvation Army or your local thrift store, and you just see all these items. There's so many items. You're so excited. It's your first time or first few times you're going in there and you're scanning everything on eBay. You're checking, all right, this sold for $20. This item, like let's say, you grab one of these. You grab this photo album, brand new, not open. You're looking at it, Goodwill selling it for $4.98. You scan it, it sold for 20 bucks on eBay. You grab it, put it in the cart, that's $15 profit, that's what you're thinking. You go to the next item, you grab another thing, it's selling for $30 on eBay. Then you might find an item like, I don't know, let me see, what do I have in here? Sorry guys, I'm looking in something. Okay, this thing right here. You find a blood pressure cuff. These are pretty good actually if you find blood pressure cuffs. A lot of older people, they love checking their blood pressure. And if you need to check your blood pressure for a health reason, so that's a good thing. It sells for like 30, 40 bucks on eBay. You're super excited, you buy all these items. That's what I did. Anything that would sell for a profit, I would buy it. But then once you get going, you notice, dang, I'm holding on to this item for 30, 90, 180 days. It's not selling. You're dropping the price on it. You're taking lower. Or you have items that don't even get any views. I have several items on my store that 0 views, and I've had them on there for a month. So make sure when you're starting out, go in there. I know it's exciting. Just talking about it, I got myself amped up right there. But you have to calm down. Go in, check, sell through. So when you're on your eBay app, you're scanning the item. All right, you're going to go to sold and completed. Click that. Then you're going to see all the items that you scanned that have sold on eBay. So the first screen, before you get to there, when you scan the barcode, it's going to say there's, let's say, this engraving tool or this little game. You scan the barcode on the back and it says there's 33 listed, okay? And there's various prices. Can't go by those. Then you're going to hit sold and completed on that. And then it's going to say there is 10 sold in the last 90 days. So it keeps all the data from the last 90 days. So then you're going to say, well, there's 30 listed, 10 sold. Not too bad of a sell-through rate. But you're going to want to look for stuff that's like 20 listed, 10 sold, like 50% and above. That's what I've had to train myself on getting better at, is the sell-through rate. You got to make sure that your item is selling consistently on eBay because you don't want to sit on that item. Another eBay reseller I watch, he said that he would rather have a fast nickel than a slow dime. And I have changed to that perspective as well. I want to sell my items quick. So I have a lot of backlog and I've been working through it. So recently, I've been started in February, so it's been about 2 months. I have started dropping the price on my items that are over 30 days on my store significantly. And I'm still making a profit. I'm not dropping it to where I'm not going to make a profit on the items, but I'm just trying to get them out the door because there's a lot of houseware goods that I bought that I wouldn't buy now. Diffusers, different things that you can buy on Amazon, unbranded things. So unbranded items, stay away from. There's a lot of different items at Goodwill and thrift stores that you can scan and they have okay sell through, but it's better to have an item that is going to be a brand name that people are going to search for. So stay away from unbranded items, and I'm staying away from houseware goods. I have amped it up a little bit on clothes. I pulled back on the clothes. I'm going for jeans. Jeans are good sellers, so I've been going for a lot of jeans, but they are harder to list. So clothing or things that don't have barcodes makes it a lot harder to list on eBay. So when you first start out, I would say go for items that are brand new in the packaging. You can find a lot of those things at Goodwill, Salvation Army, thrift stores, even some garage sales. I went to a garage sale this past weekend. A lady had a PS2 remote control for a DVD, for the PS2 DVD player or the PS2 that plays DVDs, brand new in the package. She sold it to me for $1. It sells for 20 bucks on eBay. So look out for those types of items. So those are some really good items to look out for, but I'm going to give you guys the first tip of the video. So when you're at Goodwill, make sure you always test all the electronics. My Goodwill, they have a little area that you can go and plug it in, and it's like a timer you can set to turn the electric on. Plug it in, test your electronics for sure before buying. But also, a lot of people, they go in there and you forget to bring batteries. There's a lot of items that take batteries. triple A's, double A's. You can't bring all that stuff in your pockets. Some eBay resellers do that, or eBay pickers, whatever you prefer to call them. But Goodwill, well, my Goodwill at least, if you ask the cashiers at the front, they have batteries at the front desk. Now, they don't have every kind of battery in the world. They might not have some of the watch batteries and different things like that, but they have double A's, triple A's, the basic batteries. So like this clock, for instance, I picked it up at Goodwill. It is a Beluva clock, and it's sold on eBay for $70. And there's a lot of different listings. And I actually, honestly, this is one thing you don't want to really get caught up into, but buying an item to put in your house. Because I was like, oh, this would kind of look cool. Because it is a pretty cool piece. But when I looked at it further, there was only like 1 or 2 that have sold. And there's probably over 10 listed. So I wouldn't probably buy this again. It's really pretty. It's really cool. It's a unique item. It's Beluva, which is a good watch brand, I know, that makes the clock, and it's made in London. So it's really nice, pretty piece. It does have this little imperfection here on the wood, but I shined it up, cleaned it up, took it apart, took the glass off, cleaned inside. So I'm hoping that I can get a good sale on it. But also, this is something that I wouldn't buy again for the simple fact that it's big. It's a big item. Also, it's breakable, the glass. I am not right now, we're in a point in my eBay reselling journey where I think I want to sell giant items, things that are hard to package. I bought these big filters, which I'm going to get a ton of hate on, but I bought this big filter right here. It's wrapped up in a trash bag. It's for like a big business type of thing, like a big filter that you put in like a big air conditioning unit. And they sell for like $50 to $90. Shipping though on that, if I packed it in a box, is going to cost me out the butt. It would be about $30 to $40 shipping to California, because that's how I price all my things when I ship them, is based off of California's shipping prices. That way, in case I ship, that's my farthest away since I'm in Florida. That would be my farthest point to ship to. I do not ship to Alaska, Hawaii, or the territory, so like Puerto Rico, that kind of places. I don't sell to any of the islands or anything that we are part of the United States, and so I keep those excluded. But yes, tell me in the comments, would you ever ship something in a trash bag? Would you be mad as a buyer if you received something in a trash bag? Now, I did put cardboard on the outside to protect the filter from crush impact, but to put it in a box completely covered, it would be really expensive to ship. So that was a fail on my part. So I am taking a little bit of shortcut by doing the trash bag method, but I'm willing to risk it. Let me know in the comments if you would be mad about receiving something in a trash bag. Go ahead and smash that like button as well. Subscribe, really appreciate that. And we're gonna hit our next topic. So I wanted to talk to you guys about my top 3 fails so far in eBay. So 3 things that I have done that you don't need to do, because I'm about to tell you what I did wrong so you don't have to. So my first one is I shipped the wrong item to the wrong buyer. So I sold about 5 or 6 items, I think, on this particular day. Printed out all my labels, stuck them on the packages, sent them off. Boop, done. You know, I'm feeling good, got money in the bank, and then the dreaded return has been opened on my eBay account showed up. So the buyer said, hey, I received my item, but I got the wrong item. So instead of getting some Burt's Bees chapstick, they got a remote control. One of my bread and butter items. I sell at least one remote control pretty much every day. So they were like, I don't know why I got a remote control. I should have gotten Burt's Bees. What happened? They were really nice, but I was like, oh, dang it. So then I knew immediately that's the person that was supposed to get the remote control was getting the Burt's Bees. So I immediately messaged the other buyer and told them, hey, you're probably gonna receive a Burt's Bees chapstick. If you wouldn't mind, be nice. You made a mistake. That is one of the biggest things about being an eBay reseller, that you have to own up to your mistakes. When you make a mistake, it sucks. You're gonna lose some money, but just be nice. The buyer could keep your item and make you have to give them a refund. So if you're nice, be upfront and honest, a lot of times it'll work out. Luckily for me, it worked out that I had some nice buyers, and I approached them with a fairly, very cordial, very sorry for this. and I said, hey, you're gonna receive this Burt's Bees item. If you don't mind, could you send it back to me and I will refund you out of the item that you paid for the shipping costs. And I also told the other buyer, hey, I will take care of you. Both of them still wanted their item too. So what I went ahead and did, this is something that you can try if you ever do make this mistake, but just take your time, slow down. This is one of the most important parts of your business, is shipping the item off. You're not done just because you got the sale. You gotta get the item to the customer. So slow down, try not to make that mistake. I'm hoping I never make the mistake again, fingers crossed. But so I went ahead and went on eBay and I bought another Burt's Bees chapstick and put in the buyer's correct address. That way, get them taken care of. I got them taken care of really quick. I lost the profit obviously that I would have made on the Burt's Bees, but I bought it for pretty much what I sold the original for. So it was like a wash. Then with the remote, I had the other buyer that got the remote, I had them send me back the remote. And once I got the remote, I let the other buyer know that I was going to send the remote to them, and they were completely fine with that. So I got the remote back, sent it to the buyer, the Burt's Bees got delivered to the other buyer that bought it, and then I got the Burt's Bees back. And then once I got the Burt's Bees back, I sold it to somebody else about maybe like 5 days later, maybe less than a week. I sold it again for the same price. So I pretty much washed out on that sale, and all I had to do was refund the buyer the shipping to me back. So they were really appreciative and they were really nice about that. But just goes to show, slow down on your shipping. Number 2, be careful with scammers. So I have started now, I used to leave feedback, positive feedback immediately for my buyers. Typically most people say you should leave positive feedback right away for your buyer right when the item sells. But I think this is unearned feedback because you can't give buyers negative feedback. So I decided that I was not going to give negative feedback or positive feedback to my buyers until they got the item and about a week after they received it. Because I had a buyer that was not very kind and was trying to do the wrong thing. I will talk about that in another video, but that pretty much was a return scam. So we'll talk about it more in depth in another video. Number 2 wasn't really a fail, so I'm gonna give you a different number 2 fail because that was more of like something that I'm just teasing for next time. Number 2 biggest fail that I had though is arguing with the buyers when they want to return an item. All a buyer has to do is say item not as described, and 99% of the time they're gonna get their money back. I had a buyer that bought a random lot of wheat pennies from me and they were not happy with the pennies they got. They expected that they would get a lot of older coins, more rare coins, more expensive coins, and that just isn't the case. I weigh out the coins that I sell by the ounce, so it's really random of how you would get the coins. I don't search through them. I don't pick them out and count 50. I sell 50 random wheat pennies, and they were not happy with them. I was obviously still pretty new, and I was upset because I didn't want to lose out on the money. So I argued with the buyer. They got mad, I got mad, and then they just opened up a case with eBay. So then eBay forced me to pay for the return shipping label even though I had no returns. There's no such thing as no returns. If eBay says you have to return something, you have to return something, or they're just gonna refund the money to the buyer and you don't even get your item back. So I had to pay for the return label, got the item back, and I got a neutral feedback. Because of me arguing with the buyer, he's never gonna remove that feedback. So I lost the opportunity to get that neutral feedback changed to positive since the buyer was made whole. So just never argue with the buyer. Keep your comments and your messages to your buyers very short and sweet. Keep it professional. It will help you in the long run to win your case with eBay if you are in the right. It's kind of like with a cop. You don't argue on the side of the road, take it to court. Lastly, my third biggest fail. Just this one, if you don't care about the other 2, definitely watch out for this one. So I ran into this little item at Salvation Army. It's a breast pump. So that's what it is. I opened up the box. It looked brand new. And at the time I didn't know this. Another thing to watch out for. There's some things on eBay that you cannot sell used, which makes sense. A breast pump, probably you might not want to buy that used. So I can understand that. So first off, you don't want to sell something that you can't sell if it's already used. Medical stuff like that, things that you put on your body. No one's going to want an ear cleaner that's used and dirty, nasty. I clean all my items. Anything I sell, I clean like these games, I'll clean the outside, I'll clean the disc, I clean everything. I try to clean all my items, make it nice and clean. I don't want somebody getting something dirty. And I'll go over that too in another video. But so I saw this box. It was looking so nice. The box looks nice and fresh. It was open, but I looked inside and it looked like everything was there. It looked brand new. The packaging was there. It was open, but it was all there, it looked like. And I checked it on eBay and I saw, oh my gosh, this thing is only $3.98 and it sells for $70 all day long on eBay. Threw that thing in the cart, got home so excited. And then I was telling my wife about my finds for the day, and she opens it up and goes through the products, looking through it. Oh, there's let me see. There's the bottles. Okay, that's in there. There's some of the pump things that you connect to yourself. There's the tubing. Where's this guy? Where's the breast pump? It wasn't in there. The most important part of the product wasn't in there. And guess what? It was used. So it wouldn't have mattered even if it was in there. I probably wouldn't have been able to sell it. No one would want it used. But I ended up paying, I think, $4 or $5 for this. And the dang thing wasn't even in there. So always check your boxes. Open them up. I don't care. They'll write on there sometimes, brand new in box, do not open, tape all over it. Rip that tape off. Open that box, check it every single time. And just another example of that, pretty much, I think it was the same day actually. I found this door handle set, which these sell for pretty good. I think they sell for $35 to $40 brand new. It looked brand new in the box. It looked right. And I got excited because I scanned and it said it was worth a lot. But then, you know what I realized when I got home? I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this, but look, that one is worn. You can't really see it, and sorry about the ring light there, but this one is new. Or not new, but it's in good condition because it was probably the inside handle. This one was the outside handle, so it's dirty. And guess what? This isn't even the door handle that's supposed to go in this box. So it's the old one. They replaced it with this one, the new one, and they replaced their old door handle and put their old one back and gave it to Salvation Army. I don't know why people do that, but they did. So make sure you're checking those types of things. You don't want to get yourself scammed. Not scammed, but Goodwill and Salvation Army, they're not trying to help us out by looking through stuff and seeing if it's real or what it's supposed to be or not. Always check your boxes. That's my biggest tip. It's been fun with you guys. I will have a lot of the information from what I sold at the end of this video. I hope you guys have a great one. Mr. Florida Flipper, out. So here is some of the items I sold for the week. Guys, this is from the last video, I'm pretty sure. So we got a couple things here. We got a fish tank filter, some other filters. Those are a big item for me. When I see filters, I pretty much always pick them up. I have slowed down a little bit. I don't buy unbranded filters. Don't buy unbranded filters. They're not worth that any money. Sold that remote, $15.49. Once again, bread and butter. Remotes are bread and butter for me. And here's a crocheting thing. It sold for like $5. Whoops, sorry about that. Another remote, $16. That was a nice one. $5. And then we got a game. I've started to buy some games here and there when I can find them for good, decent money. DVD. That DVD I really didn't make much money on. Sold this Tesla door panel kit. Well, that's a story. We'll talk about that another time. Another remote. Buffalo games. Some window cleaner. That's another one I want to tell you guys about. I had a weird thing happen with that one. A shirt, that's just a shirt that I owned. Another remote, $10, nice remotes. I love you remotes. And then we have some candles. I sold both of those to the same buyer. Little thing, Pokemon cards. I'm going to try to do Pokemon cards on Whatnot, I think. So check those out. Then I have a vintage clock, $10 on that. A shirt that I already owned, so I really didn't make much money, $2.50, but I made a decent profit there. Sun Pass, I really don't want to get into that. Some more remotes. But then here is my total for my 90 days at the top. But there's my total at the top, $5,849. Not too bad for my past 90 days, but I'll see you guys next time.